Well, let's take a trip out to Nullawarra Avenue in Concord, which is opposite Dame Edith Walker Estate or Uralla House or the Concord RSL or whatever you want to call it, and have a look at what a queue of 57 cars can do. Now, this was Monday, but when I came through here on Saturday, there were, I came down the hill and there were all these cones in the middle of the road, and I thought, what the heck are these things doing here? It just seemed a little bit bizarre and abstract and didn't know if it was for roadworks or whatever. I mean, just remember, I've been out of town for 6 months and had absolutely no idea what was going on, and I didn't notice the cones off to the left going into the old RSL car park. So I was, really scratching my head thinking, why are the cones on the wrong side of the double white lines pushing oncoming vehicles across into the bike lane? Well, this morning at around 8:30, I found out the reason why, and that was because there's this god awful long queue up the hill here and down the other side of people waiting to get into the old Concord RSL to get to the testing site. Right, now it's all become clear. Now I've got to say, apart from worrying about getting skewered by someone coming out of your Uralla house there with their sight lines blocked, the other kind of stuff I was worried about here was going up that hill in the traffic lane. I mean, it was fairly unpleasant. I've ridden past here hundreds and hundreds of times, and I know how fast drivers like to go along here. In fact, this is a favourite place for speed camera operators. They're always parked below the crest of that hill because people speed through here so often. So I've got in the back of my mind, I'm going to have some idiot come around the corner at the back there, fang it up the hill, and they're going to get pretty upset with me struggling up the hill at 20 something kilometres an hour. And they'll be tailgating or trying to overtake dangerously or just doing something stupid. But just imagine, if this was on Lyons Road and, all those cars were blocking one lane, people would be absolutely losing their minds. Anyway, going down the hill was also a little bit unpleasant, thinking about, well, I'm not rolling down the hill at 50 kilometres an hour, which is the speed limit. And yeah, some goon going to come over the hill and, even though there's this great long line of cars sitting on the side of the road and cones ahead, there's always going to be some muppet that just wants to go ripping through there like it's, a racetrack. So, yeah, although the painted bike lane doesn't provide any protection at all, I guess it's a bit of a safety blanket, isn't it? There's at least there's some separation between you and the traffic, and drivers can get past you. Whereas when you're stuck in the lane and you're on a hill like that, there's no escape. There's just nowhere to go, and there's no path there either. It's just grass on the verge. So it's not like I could have hopped off onto the side of the road to get through there. Look, there was another car coming out of the estate there. Sight lines blocked. Obviously, drivers very nervous about coming out. Got to worry about whether they're just looking for cars coming from their right, or are they actually going to see cyclists? It's that old Saccard thing. They're looking for one thing and they just don't see you. So yeah, little worries like that. Anyway, the kind of stuff I was worried about is, well, who did the traffic management planning for this? Would this pass muster at a building site, or if there are roadworks? Even WestConnex has better traffic management than this. Like I said, imagine if this was Lyons Road and they just blocked an entire lane for a long period of time. Yeah, people would be going mad, and it's a double standard, I think, which just really grates at me. We can't take away a lane from drivers because, oh my God, it's the end of the world. But, we take away a lane from cyclists and it's like, oh yeah, whatever. Nobody cares. Now, not that I'm complaining about this being a testing centre. It's an absolute no-brainer of a site. Oh, there's another car coming out. Hopefully they looked. It's got lots of space. It's unused most of the time. It's pretty easy for people in the surrounding area to get to. But I'm just wondering, in the rush to set it up, did anyone bother to think about the impact of all this extra traffic on the safety of cyclists? Because it'd be the ultimate irony if a cyclist ended up in hospital because of the establishment of a testing facility that's part of an attempt to keep people out of hospital. Now, the second thing is, it's not like this testing facility is new. It didn't pop up yesterday. It's been here for ages, and queues like this are apparently quite normal now. So I'm wondering, again, what thought, if any, has gone into, well, how do we keep cyclists safe, for the time being? Not that I want to ride down the inside of that line of cars. Being out in the traffic lane, I think, is a lot safer. Of course, unless some impatient driver gives up on waiting and pulls out without looking, because that would just be a little bit catastrophic. And, it's not like drivers ever pull out on cyclists without checking the mirrors or turning their heads. But just to reiterate, it's really interesting how much road space just, that small number of cars takes up. And they're small and medium-sized cars. They're not trucks or buses. And yet the queue stretches over the hill, and far away. Anyway, some stuff to think about, and I guess the main thing is don't hug the cars when you're riding through here. Take the lane and don't get clobbered.